Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's little look at what we have to expect this week in the extraordinary astrology. Today is the 22nd of February, and we have a Mercury retrograde coming. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. We've also got a very nice aspect today, which is the sun. No, it isn't. Oh, that was a good start. Venus in Pisces is trining Jupiter in Cancer. So for some reason, I've written down Neptune. I don't know. Let me just write it down so I've got it straight. There we go. Right. Okay. Let's see who's here. Christine, hello. Is it time to find our voices? I think it's always time to find, well, no, it's not always time to find our voices. I wonder whether we're still actually, Christine, going through a period of calm, gentle reflection and processing of the extraordinary energies as we stay within the realms of this Pisces season and as it unfolds, taking us towards Aries season in March. And I wonder whether, because we have a Mercury retrograde coming up, it's not necessarily time to speak forth loudly. But let me see what else is being said. Katie Haynes, good morning in sunny Northern Arizona. That is brilliant. And we've got Joe Newell. Hello, sunny UK. It was sunny in Gozo today as well. And Shirley, hello, in Bonnie, Scotland. And Parry is here. Good to see you, Parry. Andy has done a quick fly in and fly out because she's off to pick up Ruby to take her to Ringette. So she will be only seeing us in catch up. Simi, good morning. Hello. And Samantha, hello. Liz the Iron Maiden, good afternoon. Rita Dewey, you can already feel the retrograde. Well, we are in the shadow, the Mercury retrograde shadow already. I'll come to that in a minute. And hello, Annabelle. Good to see you. Sunny, dry London. Fantastic. Liz, Shirley, Jim, good morning. Warm greetings from my found voice, which is singing on key. That sounds good to me. Christine, oh gosh, it's all leaping ahead. Cosmic 3IA, Elaine, Poonam, Sue Varma from Kenya. Hello. Moshinemi from California, Fabio Schweitzer again, hello from Brazil, Laura, hello, and gosh, Jenny, geriatric Wonder Woman, I would think that is, but from Cambodia, hello. I see you can't sleep, so you thought you'd listen to my wittering. Well, I can assure you you'll probably drop off in a few minutes. Anyway, welcome everybody. It's lovely to see you all here. Hello from New Hampshire. Oh, you're being Mortar Wednesday. How exciting. Gosh, I think you have told me that. Yes, that's right. So listen, let's just have a think about the astrology. We're coming out, well, we're still, of course, in the energy of Saturn, Neptune. They are still conjunct, but they are 10 minutes apart because Saturn is already at 0 degrees and 59 minutes of Aries. Neptune is at 0 degrees and 49 minutes. So they are now still exerting their energies, and we are now, it's almost like they have been the trigger and the sort of let's go energy. And we will gradually now, over the next few months and couple of years, we will understand fully the implications of what the Saturn-Neptune has been about for us. I was suggesting on Friday that I think one of the things that astrologers will look back and remember will be the revealing of information inside or held within the Epstein files. I think also there may be, it will be remembered as the time when information about UFOs and UAPs was finally released by the American administration, which is being talked about, that President Trump is going to release the files. So that could be, whether there's anything in them or not, we don't know, do we? But I think it's interesting that he's talking about doing it at the moment. But I don't think he's going to do it yet, because I think he's in a little bit of he's having a bit of a tantrum, isn't he? He's been throwing his prams out the toy because, out the pram, prams out the toy. Oh dear, I haven't even had a drink yet. He's been throwing his toys out the pram because he is very annoyed that whatever it is, important people in the top, the Senate, or I don't know what your terminology is, America. I do apologize. I don't understand it. But they've basically said you can't impose these tariffs. And so he's said, "Yeah," and he's imposed 10% tariffs. And then he was so angry and still so upset, he's put them up to 15. Whether he'll be allowed to do it again or do that, I have no idea. But I just think it's interesting. And I think most of us just sit back and think, oh dear, yes, what are you going to do next? Hello, Janice. See me. AMAC. Hello, kitties. Yes, you can hear them in the background. Oh, Christine, your Saturn is in Aries. I can't see. Oh, I've got my finger over it. Your Saturn is in Aries 0512 in the second house. Neptune. So you're having your Saturn return. That's great. Neptune in Scorpio. What's the scores on the doors? I love it. Oh gosh, Cosmic 3i Atlas, you're going to have a major snowstorm. Rebecca, hello in Ohio. And, my condolences to that awful avalanche in North America where I think it was 8 female or lady skiers were lost. That is just devastating, terrible tragedy. And, I saw also on the news today that somebody had tried to break into Mar-a-Lago. He was shot dead. So, it's just interesting that all these things are happening around us. Hello from Denmark. And, oh gosh, I can't keep up with everyone. Brenda, MM and she wants to send and he wants to send a hospital ship to Greenland, but they have free healthcare. How strange. Lenny, love that you're always on time. I don't know whether you're talking to me or someone else, but I'm here. Listen, let's just have a think about this energy today, because today, certainly for me, I'm at the other end of my day because it's now gone 6 in the evening and it's dark out, it's nearly gone dark. But I've had a good day. My mood has been good and well balanced. And, and I looked at the astrology and I thought, well, how lovely. Venus, our lovely planet of relationships, self-worth, self-value, good feeling, love, in Pisces, where we can feel quite dreamy and, reminiscing about things, is making a lovely trine to Jupiter that is so happy in Cancer. So for those of you that still have the day ahead of you, this is a really nice energy for Sunday to meet up with friends, have a nice meal, have a brunch, have a lunch. Really good energy today. And, we need some of that. We've still got, of course, the Sun, the North Node, Venus and Mercury in Pisces. But now, of course, we've got Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Chiron, of course, is at 23 degrees Aries. The moon has moved into Taurus. So let's have a look at the Mercury retrograde. I will go into this a little bit in a little bit more depth when I do my midweek Astro Witter and look at it a little bit more fuller. But I think it's interesting because it actually stays in Pisces. So we're already in the shadow. It's been in shadow since about the 11th of February. And it doesn't go direct in Pisces still till the 20th of March. And then it will stay in its shadow until the 9th of April. So we've actually got almost 2 months of what I actually see as some respite from some pretty challenging and tough energies. And I think, whenever we hear there's going to be a Mercury retrograde, there's a sort of sharp intake of breath. But remember, it doesn't have to be anything terrible. And it's not about that things go wrong or have to go wrong. Remember, in a Mercury retrograde, it's very much about things that we need to go back over. We need to review, revision, reflection. It's not about catastrophe. It's actually very timely. This can be enormously helpful in helping you see things that you might have rushed ahead with, and they would have tripped you up later on. So I think it's always quite good to welcome Mercury retrograde. So what do we know with Mercury retrograde in Pisces? Because I think the meaning is more, you see, Mercury in Pisces is what we call in its detriment or in its fall, because it's opposite Virgo, the sign that it rules. So when it's that far away from it, we call it in its fall. So I think our logic with Mercury in Pisces becomes less rigid and less linear. I think our intuition increases, and I think the retrograde can help with that. But boundaries blur. So I think it's about also being mindful of the boundaries that we need that are important in our lives. We can get facts and feelings mixed up. And I think it's about the turn inward. This is turning inward. So there was something I'd written down, which I haven't found yet. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I think because Mercury retrograde in Pisces dissolves boundaries, this is revealing misinformation. And I thought, Epstein files, that's what I thought. I thought this is exposing that which is hidden. So I wonder whether over the next, couple of months, till it's out of its shadow, I wonder, helped by the initial trigger point of Saturn and Neptune at 0 degree of Aries, the truth really does start to come out and that more things are revealed. And I think it will expose any narrative that is built on illusion. Because remember, Pisces is very much about what we can't quite get hold of, what we can't see. So I think it's really helpful. So let me see, what else did I want to say? Because I'm not going to go on too long about it today. As I say, I'm going to save it for Wednesday. But I think Pisces, Mercury retrograde in Pisces, is inviting us to surrender to outcomes, to not try and force things, to actually Just surrender. Let me have a little look at the conversation that's going on. Hi, Corianne. Happy Sunday. Jim, time is fluid. Mercury in Pisces. Yes, I'd agree with that, Jim. Totally. See me, you're very happy to see Parry. We're all very happy to see you, Parry. Yes, he does have beautiful words of kindness and comfort. Oh, that's lovely, Simi, and you send out love into the world because of how Parry has helped you put that into context. That's beautiful. Hello, Sue NB, the star. Hello. And Lenny, you wish people would be held accountable for those crimes here in the US. Let's give it time. Let's give it time, because I think that that's where the Mercury retrograde could really prove to be very helpful, because you know, everything everything has to happen at the right time. And if we just look very starkly at what was even happening on Friday when the conjunction was exact, it's almost like you were looking at this massive wall, like the Berlin Wall when it was taken down, and you can see the cracks starting to affect, rippling through it. With ice, when you see a frozen lake or pond, and you throw a stone on it or something, and it starts to shatter, and it just starts to, all those splinters splinter out. And that's what I think that Saturn Neptune triggered. And I do think, and I feel with the immensity of what is being exposed, I just think the momentum has started. I don't think this express train can be stopped, but it's only just moving out of the station. And it has a long way to go, because I think they're starting with the bits at the bottom, the people at the bottom of this huge pyramid, and there's quite a way to go to it's like that. What's that game? Is it Jenga, where you have a tower built of, you have to keep pulling out bits, and the person that wins is the one that, I don't know, because I've never played it actually, but I always think it looks fun, because at some point you've got to pull out a thing and the whole thing collapses. That is what I think is happening. And that is the meaning of Mercury retrograde in Pisces. It will help to bring about the removing of the illusions and the secrecy around what is happening. But this is a thing of time. It's going to take time. So we have to be patient. So let's see. Beth, you saw the Berlin Wall 10 days after it fell. Wow. Did you pick up a piece? Wow, that'll be worth a fortune now. The star. Hello, Penny. So happy to be here. Sending you beautiful cosmic energy. Thank you. Christine, we all have to unite and honor all ways and all races in order to survive. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course we do. And I've missed Imagari, and I know you said something, and I'm just acknowledging that I missed your comment, but thank you for being here. And Cosmic 3IA, Game of Sticks. Yes, 'tis a bit like that, isn't it? Was it something called Pick a Stick or something? There was sort of pick up a stick, or I don't know, something like that. Beth, you did pick up a piece of the Berlin Wall. Wow, fabulous. Christine's saying we need to hear both low and high, very high frequencies. I think that's going to happen. I think that already does happen on some level. I think we already pick up all these frequencies, because, do you know, it was funny, I was sitting here this afternoon and I actually thought, while I was looking at one of paintings on the wall opposite me, and I was looking, it's got quite a big ornate frame. And I thought, whoa, that's weird. It almost looks like it's not quite solid, as if I noticed the fact that it's only my belief in the atoms holding it in the form that I know is there, that I see it like that. It was almost as if I just slipped into that kind of in-between where the molecules weren't quite coalescing to show me that we're the picture frame. And it was just interesting. And I've just been thinking about this a lot lately, that I wonder whether one of the things that will start emerging for us over the next few years is that we'll pay more attention to the periphery, to what we see out of the corner of our eye, because that is quite relevant. We see these things and we dismiss them, but actually they can often be very, very interesting. Shah, hello, good afternoon. Poonam, you know, the frequencies are all around, ringing in the ears. Yeah, absolutely. Poo sticks. Yes, Christine, I remember that. So Jim Tinnitus, Poonam. Oh, I love your reality. I love it. So listen, you know, we know with Mercury retrograde, and especially in Pisces, I would say it's not ideal for signing contracts impulsively or making snap judgments impulsively or assuming clarity without checking. But, you know, bearing in mind you take all of that into consideration, there is nothing about this particular Mercury retrograde, or I would actually say any Mercury retrograde, that means doom. So I think in Pisces, it's asking, where have you ignored your intuition? Now that's something to think about. Where have you bypassed emotional truth? Where have you confused fantasy with fact? And that's not and shouldn't be scary. That's actually shows the self maturing. So there we go. That's all I'm going to say about Mercury retrograde today, but I do have a little story to explain it, but haven't quite got to story time yet. I'm now, hello, what are you saying, Simi? You have been experiencing a lot of peripheral things in your vision. That's very interesting. Hi, Vishka, good to see you. Vishka, you're saying 10 years ago you did not listen. You hope you learned enough for now. Well, I think we're all moving collectively to acknowledging that there is just so much that we can't possibly understand, not in the old kind of fixed scientific mainstream worldview, that it's actually very different from that. Yes, that's it, Christine. It's true. Some people are able to tap into the universal mind and have no idea how or why they know what they know. Because that's like when you have practitioners and therapists who read the Akashic records. And, you know, I spoke to someone quite a while back who reads the Akashic records. And I said, how do you do it? And she said, I don't know. She said, I don't know. I just do it. I just know. And I think we can all do that. We just have to open up to it, but maybe to find the frequency or the timeline that resonates with us for what we personally can express with our particular talents. Now, we have got on the 27th this week, we have Mars in, where is it? Mars in Aquarius, square Uranus in Taurus. So we do have a bit of a tough energy later this week because Let me see. The 27th is, so next Sunday's the 1st. Oh, it's next Friday. You see, I can't add up. I can't. Oh dear. Some old narratives don't make sense anymore. Yeah, Fabrizio, you're right. Lenny, so do you still like flames and swirls? I don't think you're talking to me. I think you're talking to someone else in the chat. So it's remembering, reinvented. Hello, Patrick. Good to see you here. Liz, you've gotten so many synchronicities in the last 15 months. And I think that's something else. I think we're going to become much more aware of synchronicities. But let's just have a look and think what this Mars square Uranus might be about, because Uranus, remember, is at the anaretic degree of Taurus, and Taurus is about economy. Now, I don't know, but I'm just wondering whether, do you know what's actually coming to me? Because Mars is in Aquarius, and I'm wondering if some technological glitch causes power outages in, in the sort of stock markets or money markets, or in banks, or whether banks go offline, or cyber attacking, anything like that could come with a Mars square Uranus, because it feels more collective. This doesn't feel particularly personal, because Aquarius is so much about the collective. And I think that, Sue NB, you've got a blizzard just starting in New Jersey. Ooh, gosh, terrible. Gosh, right. So anyway, stay warm. Oh, nice mug of hot chocolate. That sounds nice. I quite fancy that. I haven't got any, so I can't have any. So Mars square Uranus on the 27th is just, it'll be interesting to see what might come out this week that then leads us to a bit of a tricky Friday. What else could it be? Because, of course, Uranus also is conjunct the fixed star Algol. And if you joined me on Friday when I did the live about Saturn and Neptune, I looked at the chart of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince. And, of course, Uranus conjunct Algol literally means losing your head. And he is actually, he's not been charged with anything, but basically he's been accused of treason. Now, that means it's a crime against the crown. And up until, believe it or not, up until I think I heard on the news, 1998, it was still punishable by death. So Andrew's very lucky. He has been carted off to the Tower of London, awaiting his head to be chopped off, which is Algol, which is Uranus, which is opposite his moon in Scorpio. Woo! So there we go. And Mars here is sudden assertion, war. I know what else it could be, because I was saying collective. This could be that this is when President Trump goes into Iran or strikes Iran. That I've probably just let out a whole load of world secrets. This could be, it could be Friday because of that, or on the days leading up to Friday, because of that Mars square Uranus. So it's sudden, it's shocks, it's explosive. That could be what that's about. But we will see. And then we have to look that next Saturday, Venus in Pisces will be conjunct Mercury retrograde in Pisces. And so this is a good time on Saturday, next Saturday, to reconnect with good friends, good romantic attachments. You might hear from someone you've been out of touch with, somebody that you used to have a relationship with might pop back up into your life. Or maybe you're the one who will reach out to someone and say, hey, I was thinking about you. How are you doing? And so there's a nice feeling with this Mercury conjunct Venus in Pisces. And it's interesting because by the end of the week, so by next Saturday, Neptune and Saturn have both moved to 1 degree of Aries. So Neptune will be at 1 degree and 0 minutes, and Saturn will be at 1 degree and 37 minutes. So they're still walking together, but Saturn is leading. And I think that's interesting because Saturn is about timing. And Saturn is almost taking Neptune's secrets by the hand and saying, shh, we have to do this at the right time. The structure can be taken down, but at the right time. And the Mercury retrograde in Pisces is giving time to Saturn to make sure that there is no hiding place for what the Neptune, let's say the Neptunian files, are concealing. And I think that will make a huge difference. So it is about timing. And the moon at that point will have just moved. Well, the moon will be in Cancer, and it's actually coming up to oppose Pluto. So there is something also about that for me, that next weekend there is something that is revealed in some way, because the moon will be sextiling Uranus in Taurus. So there is, and Mars will still be squaring Uranus. It's a degree out now by the time we get to Saturday, but it's still there. Now, the sun that day, next Saturday, next weekend's quite big, because then, of course, on Sunday, it's March the 1st. And don't forget, next Sunday, I will do the live stream, and it'll be for the month of March. So it'll be the month ahead that I will look at. But the North Node in Pisces is conjunct the Sun in Pisces next weekend. There is something that comes out over towards the end of the week, over next weekend, that is about aligning karmic truths about where one needs to get to, the destiny that needs to be worked through, worked out. Imagari, Saturn conjunct to Neptune means these old structures are an illusion. Yes. Do we all have Algol in our charts? Yes, Brenda Lee. Cosmic Three-Eye Atlas. You suppose, but you get synchronicity and visions that don't serve anyone. But if they serve you, that's great. That is great. And I think that going back to what Brenda was asking about Algol moves hardly, it's only with the precession of the planets. So most of us are going to have Algol. In fact, probably all of us have got Algol at about 25, 26 or 27 degrees of Taurus. So, for instance, my sun is at 24 degrees of Taurus. It's nearly 25 because it's 24 and 55 minutes or something. So, of course, my sun is actually conjunct Algol. And I hope I won't upset anyone enough that I get beheaded. But I don't think that's what it means. I think it maybe it's a warning for me to not lose my head, to that one could take it on a psychological level and say, keep the ego in check. That could be a nice interpretation of not losing one's head, because it's the star Algol to my Taurus sun. Don't lose your head. Don't allow the ego to take over. So, which is something we all have to learn as we go through life. So there we go. Let me see what you're saying. See me. Yes, Penny, I think light will be shed on a figure that will shock the world, someone we would not suspect. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Um, Keep your head on straight. I love it. Poonam, this reality sure feels like a plot from a book. It certainly does. Absolutely. Brenda, yes, thank you. Okay, that you found that helpful about algol. Patrick, beware of extreme emotions. Yes, we do have to with this energy. So I'm going to come on to give you the little story because it's actually about Mercury. And I think it might help you understand how Mercury retrograde can be quite helpful. So, of course, Mercury, as we know, is the messenger of the gods. And let me see where I actually start with the story. Here we go. So Mercury was also known as Hermes. Well, of course, if I say the word Hermes, and a lot of you ladies out there will resonate with this, I think of those gorgeous handbags. All I can think of now, if I think of Mercury, is handbags, because Hermes, as they are called in French, do the most beautiful handbags. The Kelly, the whatever else they were, I can't remember them all now. But they're gorgeous handbags, incredibly expensive. I could never afford one. Well, I shouldn't say that actually, because you never know, do you? And, you know, I should think big. So anyway, whilst I witter away, hi, Till, good to see you. The ego, Fabrizio, yes, it's our worst enemy. Yes. So Till, hello, it's good to see you here. Jim, oh, you're having a little chat with Christine. There's a little private chat going on, so I'm going to tell a story now. So those of you that would like to listen to the story of Mercury, or rather Hermes, please, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Hermes scarves, yes, I know. I've got some in my drawer. Yeah. Anyway, right, on to the story. So, on the very day that Hermes was born, or Mercury, he refused to stay in his cradle. By nightfall, the newborn god had already slipped out of Olympus and found a herd of sacred cattle belonging to his older brother, Apollo. Well, Hermes, that we now actually know is Mercury, stole them. So he's a bit impish, a little bit mischievous, Mercury. And you see, with this story, I think it helps you to identify and understand the energy of the planet. And that helps you. I think the story helps you cement in here what Mercury represents. You're not just learning words of what it represents, you're learning a story, which is much easier to associate with. So Mercury, also known as Hermes, stole these cattle, but he did something very clever. He made the cattle walk backwards. That's like Mercury retrograde, so that their hoof prints pointed the wrong way. So anyone tracking them would follow the trail in the opposite direction. Smart, eh? And he even tied branches to their tails to brush away traces of the path. So how smart was Mercury? So remember this. So even though when Mercury goes retrograde, we think, oh, we curse it and things go wrong or things get missed. But you know what? Mercury's smart. He knows that sometimes going slow is really important because it gives us time to re-look at, redo, review. And so when Apollo discovered his cattle missing, he storms into Zeus's court, furious. Your new son, Mercury, Hermes, has stolen from me. Well, Hermes, back in his cot, says, still wrapped in swaddling clothes, looks up innocently and said, and he could speak, but he's a god, so they can. How could I? I was only born yesterday. In the myth, which I think is interesting, Hermes says, I was only born yesterday to escape blame. In modern English, we say, I wasn't born yesterday, when we refuse to be fooled. Mercury energy lives in that paradox between innocence and intelligence, between believing and questioning. Well, Apollo did not believe him, and eventually the truth came out. And that's interesting as well, isn't it? You think Mercury retrograde in Pisces, Saturn conjunct Neptune. Neptune rules Pisces. Let's say Neptune is where those Epstein files are concealed. So Apollo didn't believe him because he was determined to get to the truth. And eventually, as the story tells us, the truth came out. But instead of punishment, something unexpected happened. Hermes, now this is where it gets really interesting. Hermes took a tortoise shell, that he had found, and he designed it into a lyre that he could play beautiful music on. He played music so beautiful that Apollo's anger dissolved like Neptune. Apollo chose to trade the cattle, to let him keep the cattle for Zeus, for the lyre. He wanted this lyre because it made such beautiful music, and it was haunting and it was wonderful. And Hermes was at that point appointed messenger of the gods, and we know he's known as Mercury. Here is how it works astrologically. Mercury, Hermes, walks things backwards, blurs the obvious trail. This is beautiful for Mercury retrograde in Pisces. He confuses linear logic, creates temporary misdirection. But the story doesn't end in disaster. It ends in reconciliation, exchange, new invention, a new role being defined. And that's Mercury retrograde. We retrace steps, we realize something was misdirected, we clarify, and something creative emerges from the confusion. So one could say, when Mercury goes retrograde, the footprints may look backwards, but that doesn't mean we're lost. It means we're being asked to retrace the path and perhaps invent something new. And of course, in Pisces, the footsteps dissolve in the mist. We have to track not with logic, with intuition. And that brings in the Saturn-Neptune. And at that Aries world point. So I think it's interesting because what it tells us is nothing catastrophic happens. The mistake leads to music. And the trickster, Mercury, Hermes, formerly known as Mercury, Hermes, becomes trusted. So there we go. I love that. I really love that that story. So that's what's happening astrologically in the coming week. So we have no respite. We will be glad, I can tell you, of a Mercury retrograde to just slow down a bit, because wait until all this lot move into Aries. We've got them in Pisces now. We've had them in Aquarius. Now we've got them in Pisces. Then they're all going to pile up into Aries, March, April. We need to use Mercury retrograde to rest, gather our energy, nurture ourselves, and take care of ourselves. Jim, I like that comment. Maybe the lesson is that motion is always forward. And I do like that. That's beautiful. Fabrizio, very dialectical and wise. Thank you. And Janice, also in ancient Greece, women would plant Hermes in garden, which were statues of his naughty bits. Oh, I love that. Oh, fabulous. And Simi, you love these mythical stories. They remind us of morals and manners and integrity as well. And you've got Mercury in Aries, Christine. How funny. As is yours, Jim. That's right, it is, isn't it? My Mercury is in Gemini, and as is my Mars. So I've got Mars and Mercury in Gemini. So no, that's why I can witter. I can witter for hours. You know, you're never going to stop me wittering. You can try, but I won't stop. Now, I'm going to find us 3 cards for the week ahead so that we can... and did everyone on Saturday morning wake up thinking it was Monday because we had a live on Friday? Actually, I just thought, oh, it's Saturday. How wonderful. I don't have to do anything. Or at least... Actually, what did I do yesterday? Got cat hair. What a surprise. Do you know, I had a wonderful day. I sat... I had a lovely meal. I cooked myself something really nice, and very Taurus, isn't it? And I watched several crime series or episodes of crime series on you know, the whatever they are, the drama channels that you get, the IPTV. Oh, I had a lovely time. I really enjoyed it. Me and the kitties all snuggled up, watching all about various crimes. It was just wonderful. So let's see. Cosmic 3IA, you keep getting your days wrong. See me, you've pulled Judgment, 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords. Someone is going to be uncomfortable this week. Well, I think poor Andrew, I shouldn't feel sorry for him, but I just think that I just think what a twat he's been, quite frankly. Let's see what you've got. Parry, honesty is always a choice for our society to function effectively and to live unencumbered by craziness and false narratives. Yeah. Oh, I did, Brenda. I had a lovely day watching crime things and eating good food. You like the Greek mythology as well. Well, I'll keep on bringing it then as much as I can. Oh, you've got Mercury in Leo, Cosmic 3IA. Wow. So you can really write powerfully and communicate powerfully. So I'm missing all the cards you've got. Whale Medicine from Christine. Whale of Mighty Oceans, very Pisces. You've seen it all. Secrets of the ages are heard within your call. Teach me how to hear your words and how to understand the very roots of history. And the star, you've got 8 Earth, the Star, and Queen of Cups. That sounds quite positive. Imaguari, Penny, one day please do show us your cats. You're the crazy cat lady of your village. I love cats with passion. What I'll do is I'll put a post on YouTube with pictures of them, and because that's easy, because I'll never be able to video them. I mean, I might try and do some shorts, but it's like herding cats. You can't herd cats, but I'll post some pictures of them. Blue Heart, your Mercury's in Libra, so you do like to be fair and see both sides of the situation. Sue NB, I wonder if they'll ever find the poor lady who's missing. Oh my God, it's gone a bit quiet on that, isn't it? Yes, she's the mother of the show host, isn't she? The morning Good Morning show in America. Absolutely dreadful. It's gone all quiet on that. You've got Mercury in Capricorn still, and your sun, of course. Yes. So let's see what I've got. Guthrie, that's right. Nancy Guthrie. and her daughter. It's just tragic. So the first card I've got is the King of Coins. So I think, you know what I'm seeing here? I'm seeing Trump and his tariffs. And I think he's sitting there thinking, no, you can't get me. I've put more tariffs on, can't get me. So let's see then what happens. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think he's going to have a little bit of a hissy fit again. And I'm sorry if there are lots of you out there that love him. I'm sorry, I can't sit on the fence anymore. It's just, I think he's behaving like a twat. Well, that's putting it very politely. You know, and anyway, I'm not going to get caught down that rabbit hole. Divine Femio of mind, you feel like a blank page. You don't know what new beginning to invest in, but it's exciting to not know all the answers. Sometimes just see what emerges from your unconscious. And someone's corrected your spelling, AMAC. Mercury in Libra pulled the unicorn's horn. I like that. Positive change, chance, major internal transformation, popularity, unexpected travel. Well, someone here is not seeing what is working. And so we need to just reflect on this as well, if we take it on a personal level, and not to dwell too much on what's happening in the past and what's not working, and look at what we've got and how we can use that constructively to go forward. And then I think by the end of the week, we'll think, oh my God, made it to the end of the week. How did we get here? Because I think this might be quite an action-filled week, even though Mercury is in its shadow. I've still got cat hairs, sorry. Even though Mercury is retrograde or going retrograde midweek, I think we're still going to find this week quite hard. But even though it's hard work, there is something that will, I think, towards the end of the week, there will be something in the news that says we've got all the, things we need. We've got what we need. We've got the evidence. This is what we need to construct this new structure. And all we have to do is get as far as there on the horizon where we can see. And yes, that's it, Christine, sheer determination and endurance. And I think that is what that's about. I think we've just got to, harder than last week. Please say no, Fabrizio. No, I don't think it's going to be harder in that sense. I just think that we are in this flow of energy that is unfolding. And I think we have to find a way to pace ourselves individually, to really work with our energies and recognize when we need to take a rest, recognize when we need to not scroll or look at the news or any of those things. We need to really parent ourselves. And, I'm just thinking I'm going to choose one more card to just say, I just want to say, what is this week about in general? I'm just asking, what is this week about in general? Okay. It's about property, money. I think this is about foundations and roots. I also feel this is a little bit Saturn, about timing. I also think it is about abundance. I think we have to not fear the worst, but expect the best. Because actually, why shouldn't things work out? And maybe if we all think, well, maybe things will just work out. Maybe that's just a shift in perception that we have to make so that we can, if we're all intending it, then I don't see why it can't happen. Let me just see what you're saying now before we bring everything to Blue Heart. I feel like I've reached my breaking point. I'm exhausted and have no patience left. Oh, honey, listen, just take time out. Nurture yourself. Try not to take in too much. Rest. Pace yourself. If you can hear background noise, I had a box from Amazon arrived on Friday with some just little slip-on shoe things, and which I'm wearing, but I'm not going to show you because I'd have to bend down. Anyway, I'm wittering. And DB is in the box tearing the paper up, and she won't let me take the box away because she loves it too much, and she likes to go in there and make a big noise and just make a mess. Okay, Sil, I'm just seeing what you're saying about you hear planes above your skies, very busy these days. The media says we might have 2 days before anything happens, and people are all preparing the shelters. Is this because of Iran, Sil? Because I think that is something that's going to unfold pretty soon. So you're welcome, Janice. Brenda, very good advice for Blue Heart. Breathe deep several times and make a point to center yourself. That's a very good idea. And do as Pam Gregory talks about, the baby belly breath, where you just keep your hand on your belly and you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, rest for 4, and repeat several times until you feel yourself calming down. And Annabelle, yes, pray for the safety of Israel and Iran. And look, everyone is sending you lots of love, Blue Heart. Do not despair. Bagpuss, they're all twats. I love the word twat. Covers a multitude of sin. So boxes are versatile and so much fun, especially when they hold gifts. Yes. And Deeby's now fallen asleep in it. Well, she's resting in it. And they're now prowling around my feet because they know that normally this is about the time I finish. And so they're thinking, well, come on. It's time to finish. It's nearly bedtime. I have such an exciting life. What I do is I watch this back just to make sure it's okay. And I have a little snack because I've had a main meal earlier. And then I go to bed, and I often go to sleep quite quickly because I get tired. And I think, well, that's just me. Still, these breathing practices really help, sending good energies at you, Blue Heart, and lots of blue hearts to you, Blue Heart. Just breathe. Everything will be fine. Sue NB, I hope you have a wonderful week too. She's wishing us all a wonderful week. George is the most talkative of my cat, George. Yes, he's the most talkative. He's not chattering away tonight, is he? I don't know where he's gone. He's disappeared, but he'll be back. So there we go. So remember, next Sunday will be the live for March. How did we get to March? I mean, it's just extraordinary. And I want to say to you, all of you, thank you so much for your support, your lovely comments in the live chat, all the comments that many of you leave on the other videos that I do. And I kind of batch read them. So sometimes it might be a couple of days that used to think, I don't know, she didn't respond. But I do get to them eventually. And so thank you all so much for that. And I want to say the usual thing, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. It really does help with those old algorithms. Share, if you can share on Facebook, that's really helpful because it just spreads it out a bit, you know. So Jim, you're very welcome. Cosmic 3IA, we changed the time again. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Oh, have a good week, everyone. Yes. Thank you, dear Penny. So wonderful to see you and all here. I'm so happy to see everybody. Let's make the most of the week ahead, says Fabrizio. And Blue Heart, if the legal system breaches every right, then who are the laws really for? Where do I go when no one listens? It feels like nothing but corruption. Have just hope. Blue Heart, it sounds like you need to find someone to talk to. If you can afford a session with me, I highly recommend it. pennydix.com. I could see you probably quite soon, but you must let me know your time zone, because remember, it's now 7 o'clock in the evening here. So I don't do anything after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's for everyone as well. If you do want to book a session with me, remember, let me know your time zone, because you won't get any sense out of me doing a chart at this time of night, not for me. So my last appointments are always 4 o'clock in my afternoon, which is 10 o'clock for the East Coast of America, which is 7 a.m. Jim knows this well, in West Coast. So, and the bits in between, which I don't know how it works out. So when's your daylight saving happening, Cosmic 3i Atlas? Because ours doesn't change till the end of March. So ours doesn't change yet. But surely it doesn't say it's changing end of February. But anyway, I'm in danger of wittering. So, okay, let's pull things to a close. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you all. And stay safe, everyone. And if you are in areas where there is bad weather or where there is potential fallout from whatever might happen in the Middle East, please take care. Do everything those in charge tell you to do, in the sense that you keep yourselves safe. So let's pray for the best. And Steve, hello, Steve Bowden. Oh, I've got hiccups now. You are very welcome. I think I better go before I hiccup my way out of here. So, March the 8th. Good God. Daylight saving starts. Oh, gosh. Oh, that's going to confuse me totally. I will never know what time it is. I can't work out whether it's that way or that way. Oh, God. Brenda, email me when you're in Malta. Yes, please do. Please do. I can't guarantee anything, but, we'll see how time unfolds. So, you're very welcome. Oh, you're welcome, Blue Heart. Yes, everybody take care. Okay, guys, so I'm off, and have a good week, and take it easy. Love you loads. Okay, bye for now.